Hey, what's up, YouTube? Brian Fajoli here. And recently, with iPad OS 13.4, Apple added Trackpad support officially to the operating system. With that, they released the $800 iPad Pro and a new keyboard case with a trackpad for $300. Essentially, it's an $1,100 package to get that new iPad and the keyboard together. So that's the starting price, $1,100. Now, if you have that much money to spend on an iPad, more power to you. I can't spend that much money. Even if I had $1,100 to spend, I wouldn't spend it on a tablet and a keyboard. I have the iPad, the regular iPad, the 7th generation, which I got for Christmas. And I want to say it cost like under $200. I mean, it was on sale for the regular iPad, right? And the cool thing about this new update to iOS 13.4 with the trackpad support is it's not limited to any particular iPad. So that support is baked in for the regular low-cost, the regular iPad, not the Pro. And it also, third-party companies can, make their own cases with the trackpad. So Logitech has created this case. It's called the Combo Touch, and it's for the iPad 7th generation. So essentially what this is a way for people with regular iPads to have a keyboard case with trackpad. It essentially turns it into kind of like a Surface. So I'm going to unbox this and stick my iPad into it and just check it out real quick. So let's take a look at the box. So it says here, Combo Touch, and it's a detachable keyboard case. So what's cool about this, the Apple case doesn't even do this. Like the Apple case, you can take the tablet out of the case, like it like just kind of floats and sits on it. But then you don't have any protection on your iPad. With this, it's kind of like a Surface where you have a protective case here and a kickstand, but the keyboard unplugs, it detaches. So if you don't want to be using the keyboard and you don't want the added weight, you can just use the case itself for protection, which I like that design. Drop the box here. Take a look at the back. So it shows us here, type and navigate. So you have your keyboard, you have your trackpad. You can sketch and take notes. So it's a versatile case. Browse and read. So like I said, you can take off the keyboard case if you don't want it on there. Watch movies and videos, and you have that kickstand there as well. So it's a really nice, cool case that comes in at a much lower price than Apple's case. So if we pull this out, no need for like a knife or anything. This just pulls out. And what do we see here? We see the actual keyboard. So here is the keyboard with a nice trackpad. There's like a kind of like a cloth finish. I could show you guys that, which is nice. I do anticipate though that if you were using this like in a Starbucks and you spilled coffee on it, it would likely stain. So just keep that in mind. But you have your keyboard and you have your trackpad, and then this part is just a standard like iPad case that will protect your iPad. And you also get a loop for your Apple Pencil, and that's for the original Apple Pencil. The newer one only works with the Pros, whereas the regular iPad, the new 7th generation, does work with the Apple Pencil, but only the first generation of that. So what a nice case here. So there's like a plastic ring up here. Let's see, for the camera. And I happen to have my iPad right here. So let's just go ahead and stick that in. Okay, so now we have the iPad in, and it's not very heavy. It's not too bad. It adds a little bit of weight, obviously, to the iPad, but it's not overly heavy. It's actually really, really nice. And then the idea is that on the bottom, we have the smart connector, which is actually on the 7th generation iPad, which you know, it's an inexpensive iPad, but it actually has some great features. It's a great iPad. And then it should connect, I think, magnetically to the bottom here. You'll see me in a moment. Bam. And then on the back, we have a kickstand, as you can see there. So, as I turn this around, there's me. And I'll adjust this to try to get rid of me and the lights. There we go, a little bit. And now we have a typing experience. So the keys feel really good. On the top row, we have like play and pause and forward and back for music. We have a home button. It's a good sized keyboard. We have option and command. We have arrow keys here. And then most importantly, we have the trackpad. And what's cool about using the smart connector here, which Logitech has done, is you don't need any extra battery. It's not connecting by Bluetooth or anything like that. You are essentially just using the battery of your iPad to power this keyboard, which shouldn't use a lot of energy. Again, on the top, we have the Apple Pencil loop, and I have an Apple Pencil. Where did I put my Apple Pencil? Here we go. So I have my Apple Pencil here. I'm going to slide it into the top. Oh, it fits nice and tight. So that's a good thing. On the top here, you can see now I have my Apple Pencil. And it's good that it's a tight fit. I've had other inexpensive cases where, and I'm talking like $10 cases from like Amazon, which sometimes are good, but sometimes the pencil loop like that is very loose fitting and the pencil will slide out and it's just not good. So now what I've done with this keyboard case is I've transformed my inexpensive iPad essentially into a laptop. Now, when I say laptop, meaning that I have a keyboard and a trackpad. Could I use this on my lap? Probably, but like with the Microsoft Surface, probably with the Pro, I should say, not comfortably because you're kind of balancing it like this with the kickstand. But the kickstand is nice. It's very, look at that. Wow, actually, let me show that off a little bit. The kickstand goes all the way down like that. So if you did want to sketch on it or something like that, you do have that option. And like I said, you can close this up like so. And this is a, pardon me, this is a heavy case now with the keyboard on it. Like if you were traveling though, it's going to protect it really, really good. But let's say you were just watching some movies or going on Twitter, you can always just pull off the keyboard and then you have a more manageable weight with your iPad. So folks, this is the Logitech Combo Touch, and this is really the keyboard case with trackpad for the everyman, right? For the people who don't want to spend $1,100 on the tablet and the keyboard. And I don't want to say that's a waste of money or too much money. It's just I wouldn't be comfortable with spending that much money. For $1,100, I would buy myself an actual laptop. But a tablet is a secondary device to me. I don't think the iPad, even the iPad Pro and the keyboard case together at $1,100, I don't think it's yet a MacBook replacement. But I think it's on the way. I think eventually you'll see iPad OS replace Mac OS or kind of merge. It just doesn't make sense to have two different operating systems. Apple's doing it the right way, though, whereas Microsoft tried to transform their desktop operating system into a mobile one with Windows 8. Apple is just taking the slow approach of letting things naturally occur where, okay, we have Mac OS, we have iPad OS, let's just see what happens. And the rumor is that they're going to eventually, they're going to use ARM processors in the MacBook laptops eventually, their own. And you just have to wonder at what point do they just want developers to write one app for both. And we'll see what happens. But again, this is the Combo Touch from Logitech, which is for the iPad 7th generation. You get a durable case for protection. You get a keyboard attachment with trackpad, and you get a nice pen loop. Kickstand works great, nice and versatile. And I'll put a link in the description of where you can buy this case. All right, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.